So hello, welcome to issues 15 and 16. Both of these issues we're going to be continuing work on the thumb. I'm not going to say finish the thumb because I'm not 100% sure if it will be finished, but it certainly will look quite good by the end of it. Okay, so I have been really good. So I'm just checking the sound levels. Right, I have been really good. I have been preparing my packages as before the video, so they're all ready to go. I've also popped my screws to one side. So we did get 4 of these 1 type screws. It says screws 1 times 2 plus 2. We got 4, so it looks like we'll only need 2. And then we got 4 of these silver screws. It says screw 2 times 2 plus 2. We've got 4, so I'm assuming we'll need 2, and there are 2 spare. So the pieces that we get this week are C65. This looks like some kind of support stroke lever, connector. So then we've got C67. Again, they're all nicely stamped so that they're easy to locate later on. We also have C66, and I'm sorry about the terrible descriptions, guys, but that is the descriptions they've given us. And then we've got 2 washers, which I'm going to pop onto the table. They're exactly the same as the ones we got in the last issue. So we need to, sorry about the magazine, so we need to fit 67 and 65 together. So got to look to see how that goes. It's all going to go, there we go, it's going to make 1 piece construction. Beautiful. 2 screw holes, a couple of locating tabs. There's a couple of slits there, and the 2 screw holes, and you really can't go wrong, guys. So it's going to make an odd looking shape piece. You're expecting it to go in like that, but because of the little locating tabs, it goes off a little bit skewiff. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 number 1 screws, and we're going to screw that together. No, sorry, misread the instructions. We want 2 silver screws, guys. Make sure it's 2 silver screws. And as always, we'll pop 1 in just enough to bite. That will hold the parts together. And then the second screw can go in as tight as you like. I could really use a slightly bigger screw head. I'm going to start getting multiple screwdrivers, each one fitted with a different head, so that I can just pick up the screwdriver that I need. Obviously, sometimes you need special screwdrivers, say with thinner shafts, maybe a heavier duty, maybe sometimes a much lighter screwdriver, but they're in, and I'm happy with that. So next we want to take piece A70, which looks like a metal part. Now A70 came from last week's issue, so that will be issue 14, and it does say retrieve part A70 from issue 14, fit 2 washers into the side holes. So you'd see there you've got some holes on the side, and the washers don't look like they're going to fit. They look like the washers are too big, but they actually fit okay. So we need to pop those washers into the sides there, and they hold surprisingly well through static electricity. Right, so now we need to take the assembly from step 1, and basically it's going to go that way or that way, but it looks like, you see you've got 2 stop pieces two stoppers there. What I guess is going to happen if you've got something like that, can you see that as it rotates, it's going to stop. So those two sticky 8 bits want to be away from the piece, and that's going to slip into there, and that's not quite as technical as I thought it would be. Right, so those washers are slightly bigger than the hole, which is quite interesting. Right, so over the top of that we want piece C66, and you see there you've got two screw holes, you've got the piece, and what that's going to do, that's going to hold this in place. Now, is that how we want it held in place? Because that's not going to move. Fixed using two screws. The assembly must have a certain degree of mobility. Excuse me 1 second. The assembly must have a certain degree of mobility so that the thumb of the Infinity Gauntlet can be positioned later. So I can't see how that's going to have. That's locked in place. So how is that going to have a degree of mobility? But it looks absolutely correct. Guys, I'm going to go with this. I'm just a little bit confused by the wording. Like I said, it's got two little stop bits on it. So it's obviously to help it position that. Unless it means the entire assembly has to have a degree of mobility. But no, I'm a little bit confused. But if it doesn't fit properly, then we will know it's all down to this particular piece here. And that doesn't want to go in, and suddenly it's there. Right, and then just finish screwing the first one. So yeah, there you go guys, that's that done. Unless it means that it's got a little bit of movement there, and perhaps that's what it actually means. So sorry guys, I'm just going to have to take a quick mute break. I thought that I had got rid of my cold stroke hay fever, but it looks like I haven't. So I apologise guys if I have got my camera set up how I think I have. You didn't hear any of that. But I've just had to sort my nose out. Right, so we have a result. The picture shows the inside of the thumb with the pieces from this issue that will be attached. So it's going to go something like this. A67, which should be this one. No, A69, sorry. No, A67, that must be this one. Where's A67 then? And that's A6. Have we had an A67? Wow, I'm super confused now. So 69 will go there somehow. Okay, I'm even not going to delve into that, because you know I do speculations and they don't always work, although they're fun to do. Right, so issue 16, the last issue of this pack, and we have got, oh, screws fell out. Oops. Oh, one of the washers have fallen out. So my organisation has come up with nothing. I've opened the packet so that I've got this ready, and then I end up dropping it inside the box and everything falls out. So we have got 5 screws. which I'm going to get out ready. So that's 5 silver screws. It says times 3 plus 2, so it looks like we'll need 3 of them. So the parts that we have is C68, which I think we can see where this is going. We have got, this don't want to go in, this doesn't want to go in, there we go. Part C70, which looks like the other half of C68, both of which are plastic, by the way. Then we have C69, which is plastic. We then have 4 washers. This is dead from the last issue. So here we go, guys. Hopefully I'll put all of this together, but you know what this is like. So retrieve the assembly from issue 15, and I've just accidentally closed my page on my magazine. Right, retrieve the assembly from issue 15, fit the post on C68, which is the post on C68. So it'll be the piece with a post on it. Right, that wants to go into the slot in A70, which I'm assuming is this one. And that should theoretically go, whoa, that's a really nice fit. So where your washer is from the last issue, with the screw hole pointing downwards, that wants to go, no, with the screw hole pointing upwards, sorry, I apologise. No, on, what's going on, guys? You know when you have it sussed and suddenly it doesn't fit anymore. There we go. So it's actually going to form an extension. See this little detail on the metal? It's going to form an extension. And there's a little circle there, semicircle, that just fits around that screw post. Fantastic. And then on the other side of that, we're going to take piece C70, which is obviously going to go the opposite way. And that hasn't got a big peg to lead you. But as you can see, not a problem. So screw number 2, which is a silver screw, will go into that one single hole, and that will hold that together. Oh, it's obviously a self-tapping screw, but it is quite I think this plastic is actually a really good quality. The downside of a really good quality plastic is that it makes it so much hot. Oh, that's not going. Does that need a lot more? Should I perhaps have just checked? Ah, there we go. Is that starting to fit? I think that is starting to go in. Right. That's not going in, is it? Maybe just double check I've got the right. Tell you what, let's use a different screwdriver head if I can find one. If not, I'll use a bigger screwdriver. Okay. There we go, guys. I just had 2 smaller screwdriver head. Some of these, you know, if you don't use the absolute correct size, you will get away with it, but this one is a no-no. Right, so that's in nice and firm. That is looking quite nice now. It's getting, for what it is, it's actually getting quite heavy. Right, so now we want to take piece C64, and I'm losing track of these pieces, and I'm really glad that they've been numbered, because C64 is from issue 14, which means we can get rid of that container. And we want to pop in a washer, and I'm trying to find the orientation. So using this hole down low and this little cutout bit in the middle as a guide, we want to hold it this way. Excuse me. We want to pop a washer onto there. Then we want to retrieve the thumb assembly from issue 12, which is this one, and that's going in to there somehow. I would suggest it's going in like that. Right, then inside there we want to take piece A69, which thankfully is labelled, and it wants to go line up can't see how it's going to line up. There we go, like that. Does that look right? I really don't know, guys. These aren't the best. These aren't my favourite instructions. Right, so retrieve part 69 of issue 13, fit into the thumb and rotate it so that the tab fits into D19. So we've got two tabs there, one each side. That wants to go in like that. Part D19 will slot into the central recess of A69. So it's D19. Right, and that should fit into, yeah, there's a little recess there. I'm finding it easier. Oh, I see. Right, so we have, no, I'm not sure. I think, so there's a tab there. I think that's meant to go into there. But it's very difficult. Very tricky. Which is, there we go. So can you see how I've got that tab? You kind of have to fiddle it around a little bit. And then that recess goes into there. And it's going to act as a little guide. So once that's located with that, no, I think that's off center. I'm not sure. I am not. So pin inside view. It looks right, but that pin is just, that pin seems to have gone off center, but we'll see what happens, what comes of it. Right, so place a washer over the post on C64, which is this one, and this has got so much static on the washer, it's sticking. Right, then we need to take our assembly from step 1 into the thumb assembly. Slide the assembly into place. Right, I can see what's going to happen there. So there's a little sticky out tab there, and there's a cut out hole there, and that should go in. Again, this is quite a tight little fit, and that's as far as it goes. There we go. You've got to wiggle it again, and then this is just fallen out. Right, we can actually open that thumb up. We can overextend it, which is going to make that easier to replace this piece. Jesus, guys, this is the thumb. Just keep reminding you of that because of the size of it. Right, that is in place. So, is that going to pop? Right, I can see what's going to happen now. Right, so what we're going to be doing next, I'm waiting for C69 to come into place. Right, so yeah, that's how it's assembled. And then we want to put 2 washers onto there, onto these last holes, the opposite holes that we've done before, like so. And we want to take piece 69, A69, that's going to go into there. Right, so we've got a 3-stage connector, and this is just fallen off. So we need to make sure that this bottom piece is nicely in there and the pin is located in the hole. I really don't know an easy way to do this, guys, other than fiddle with it. Still not convinced that that piece is in right anyway, because it said it needs a degree of movement. Right, so I've got that pin located, the tab, sorry. Now I'm going to get the pin located without removing that piece in there. This is really fiddly, guys. And then we replace the washer that's just fallen out. So when we place this 69, we have got 2 holes there, which is going to line up with those, and at the same time there's a small hole there which is going to line up with that pin. So we need to get 3 of those lined up all at once. So I don't know whether to focus on the 2 larger holes more or this smaller pinhole, but that's gone in. So that's just come out at the bottom, and then we just need to give this a slight wiggle. Might need to, there we go. It's just a case of finding where the piece is comfortable. I think because it's gone, I've got it at a slight angle. So far so good. No, now all the pins have popped out. Right, this has completely come off course, which has pushed this off course, which is tricky, guys. Really, really tricky. It's more tricky than it looks. Right, so focus on these 2 larger holes first. Try and get this in. See, I think that should go underneath. That's better. That's feeling more confident now. There we go. That's in. That is in. Those pins are in. Tabs, whatever you want to call them, locating tabs. Right. I don't want to over articulate this before I've screwed it in, but at the same time I want to make sure it works. Right, so 2 silver screws. Let's get those in as quickly as I can. I don't want to lose this, so I'm just going to drop the screws in. I'll do the first one until it bites. There's my bite point. Then I can put the second one in, and right, make sure these are still lined up. They seem to have fallen out of place a little bit. Cool. Oh, a lot of work just even in this issue. Right, that one's in place. So again, I'll say it again that the reason this is hard work, the plastic does seem to be of pretty good quality. Right, that's rather squeaky, and that's I've overextended that, but I'll get away with that. So there we go, guys. That is the thumb. So there's obviously going to be some kind of plating going over the top there, because that can't be his thumb. But yeah, let's put it this way, so I can finish the issue there, guys. So that is issue 16 complete. Does it tell me what's coming in the next issue? They never do with these packs. So I have no idea what's coming next. I'm assuming there's more issues to the title thumb. But yeah, there it is, guys. That's issues 16 done, up to thumb part 16. Take care, guys, and I'll catch you in another issue.